Okay, so this is part two of the Horror Shorts Party Simpsons horror stories. So, if you enjoyed the first one, hey, you get two. Two for the price of one, and maybe even three. Enjoy. Oh,
I literally started YouTube just to get my clout up and block everybody.
I clicked the wrong button. But anyway, let's get into it.
What?
I signed up for animation. Okay, this doesn't look like an animation. I'm actually scared.
Alright. Alright.
Bro, stop it with the quick camera movements, bro. I swear if there's a jump scare, I might just end the whole video, bro.
How are you? Hey, how you doing? Good. Why don't you have a seat back in the stool for me? And keep your hands on your pockets. Alright, bro.
The next story was inspired by a creep who was caught in an undercover sting television show. This is no different from the other creeps who get caught in the operation, but what makes him stand out was his bizarre resemblance to the Simpsons character Bart Simpson. Here's a dramatized animation inspired by this individual. The story I'm about to tell is by far the most terrifying thing that has ever happened to me. I was just a kid at the time, but as a young teenager I thought I was much more mature than I actually was. My parents were leaving for the weekend to go visit some relatives who lived about 4 or 5 hours.
Look at this man's family. Yo, why is your mom built like a... Yo, let me chill out, bro. No, no disrespect, bro, but your mom's is built like a used Q-tip, bro. And your dad, I don't know, his back looks like I don't know, a sink faucet, bro, bent over, pause for no reason.
Hours down the road in a rural part of the state. They had an acre of land and a huge house, so that was usually the place where reunions were planned. My parents wanted me to come, but to me, the thought of being stuck for 3 days in the middle of nowhere with all of my cousins, none of whom I was able to get along with, sounded like torture. I begged to stay, but it took a lot of back and forth to convince my parents that I was mature enough to be left alone at the house. My parents eventually caved and let me stay. I clearly remember the sternness in my mother's voice when she told me not to answer the door for anybody, for any reason, no matter what. Despite the abundance
Yo, look at this man's feet. Damn banana phone feet, bro.
of caution my mother tried to give me. For the first few hours, everything seemed fine. It wasn't until my parents texted me around nightfall that they arrived at their relative's house that the reality of the situation set in. That's when it hit me that my parents were a full 4-hour car ride away from me, and the darkness of the house after sundown was a lot more eerie than I'd ever seen. I felt like I was in a cave.
So it's dark out. I saw that he locked the door, but he's got all the windows open with the lights on. No.
Every sound I heard outside sent chills down my spine. Every creak of a floorboard, every rustling of the leaves. They all gave me the sensation that I wasn't actually alone, even though that seemed totally irrational. To cover up my paranoid, heightened sense of hearing, I turned on the TV and started watching my favorite show at the time, The Simpsons.
All the windows are still wide open. Close the windows. What are you doing? And you know, he has the TV on. You can't see out. They can see in. It's dark out there and light in there. It's like a one-way window, a two-way mirror, bro.
My childhood cartoon gave me a sense of comfort and safety, until I heard several loud knocks coming from the front door.
Who is knocking on my door like that? It better be Jake from State Farm, because if it's not, you're getting two to the face. Knocking on my door like that. You pay the bills? You gonna fix my door? That is oak wood, nigga. You're not paying for that.
It was so loud I could feel the vibration through the floor. I froze and tried to pretend I didn't exist, hoping that whoever it was would just go away. But they would.
Yeah, like they would just go away. You have all the windows open. They know you're in there. With the TV on, blasting loud SpongeBob. Old. We can hear Squidward walking around.
The fear and panic within me simply continued to build as the relentless pounding at the door went on and on. Finally, I couldn't handle it anymore. I got to my feet and very slowly walked up to the door and cracked it open.
Oh my... Yo, who is this nigga, bro? Bro, your mom clearly told you not to open the door for anybody. And now you got damn Bart Simpson with damn kitchen knife teeth, football eyes, and a crayon dome piece with potato chip fingers and Clifford the big red dog booty at the door. Bro.
Immediately the person on the other side tried to barge straight in, but they were held back by the chain lock that I left latched. When they realized they couldn't get in, they crammed their face in the space between the door and the frame.
That little chain is the only thing keeping you alive. That man would have bust in there and took your booty. Yo. Pause.
I couldn't recognize who the man was, but he was old and creepy, especially in the way that his glossy eyes fixated on me in the dark. Hey, little man, what's your name? Alex? What's
And you're telling him your whole govy, bro?
yours? Would you let me in, Alex? I need to talk to your parents. Are they home? Why? Why do you need to talk to my parents? Oh, are they not here? You must be the man of the house then. It's okay, you can let me in. I'm your neighbor. I just need to borrow your lawnmower. It was in that moment that
It is the dead of night and you need to cut grass? No, buddy. You need to cut weight looking like Ronald McDonald's obese stepbrother.
finally realized that none of this was adding up, and that I'd made a mistake by even answering the door. I thought to myself, who mows their lawn in the middle
Look at this nigga getting Oogie Boogie in the bottom right corner of the screen.
of the night? I can't help you. Go ask someone else. I slammed the door shut and locked it up tight. He was no longer trying to beat down the door, so I thought I was in the clear. I went back to watching The Simpsons, and by about halfway through that episode, I was still on edge. I kept hearing
This man about to hear a rock go through the window. He gonna check it out, turn around, and get his booty took. Pause.
the sound of tapping on the windows outside the living room, keeping me from getting too comfortable. No matter how hard I strained my eyes, I couldn't see anything on the other side of the glass. I told myself it was just
I told you, two-way mirror, bro. It's terrible. Lights on in the house with no lights on outside. They can look in, you can't look out. It's terrible.
the wind knocking a branch against the pane, but it didn't sit right with me. Hoping that a change of scenery would help calm me down before bed, I walked into the kitchen to get a late-night glass of
Who's going to sleep with big body Baldi's Basics outside? Nah, I'm posted up, checking all entrances and exits. I'm setting traps like I'm setting traps like it's Home Alone, bro.
cold milk. I kept the lights off and found my way through the darkness with the ambient light of the TV, as I didn't want the man from earlier to see the lights on in my house and think I was still awake.
Too late, nigga.
For a few moments, it was silent. But then the tapping returned as a loud banging on the glass.
Gosh, bro, all these jump scares, bro. You need to relax. You're lucky these are animations, because if they weren't, I'm turning the whole video off, bro. Look at this goofy looking dude, bro. Get him out of here, bro. Get him off my screen. I don't want to see him anymore.
Right next to me. I jumped and spilled my glass of milk all over the kitchen tile. And then, I saw two hands press against the kitchen window. And there he was, the face of the same man from earlier smiling at me. I'd watched so much of The Simpsons that his face looked exactly like the face of Bart. Spiky hair and everything. Except he looked more grotesque and uncannier. He smushed his nose against the glass and stared right at me. Hey, you kind of look like Milhouse. You want to hang out? Come on, it'd be fun. Just like on TV, The Adventures of Bart and Milhouse. All you gotta do is let me in. Leave me alone, I'm calling the cops! I ran out of the kitchen and sprinted to my bedroom and locked the door. I was so shaken up I could barely think straight. I crawled under my bed and hid there, thinking he wouldn't be able to find me.
I thought you said you're gonna call the cops, but no, you went and hid under your bed? You're waiting for him to come and take your booty. Pause.
But it didn't take long. I first heard his footsteps outside my window, and then his tapping once again. But this time it sounded different. It had gone from the muffled ticking of fingernails to the sharp clang of something hard like metal. I never looked, but it must have been a knife. Psst. Alex, you still there? Let me in. I just want to play. Open the door, Alex! I ran out from under my bed to grab the phone from the kitchen and called my parents. Mom,
You called your parents, they're 4 hours away. The cops are at least 30 minutes away. Do the math. He wants his booty took, bro.
There's a man outside the house and he won't leave me alone. Please come home. Unfortunately, there would have been no way for my parents to get home soon enough. My mom said she would call the cops and told me to hide until they arrived and to not make a sound. I listened to her
He already knows you're in there, bro.
every word and hung up the phone. I ran down the hallway and crawled under my bed. It was there that I waited for what felt like an eternity before the cops finally came. Of course, the creep was gone by then. There was no sign of him except for a crack on the kitchen window. I still don't want to think about what would have happened if he got in, especially after
He would have taken your booty. Pause? No, play. He would have taken your booty straight out from the jump at the front door. But hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications. Check the links in my description for my other social medias. And comment what you liked about this video. Yeah. And I'll see you in the next one. Deuces. Play that outro.
I literally started YouTube just to get my clout up and block everybody.